curiosity, and suspense. If you discovered a strange lump of dried mud attached to your garage wall tomorrow, your first instinct would probably be to scrape it off. Most people would. It looks dirty, unwanted, like a problem waiting to be removed. But what if that ugly patch of mud is actually one of the most effective natural defenses your home has ever had? What if the creature living behind those rough mud walls isn't a pest at all, but a silent hunter that spends its life tracking down spiders in the dark corners of your property? And what if destroying that nest means removing a predator that may already be protecting your family from some of the most dangerous spiders in North America? It sounds impossible, but that's exactly the hidden story of the mud dauber. A solitary wasp so misunderstood that most people destroy her work without ever realizing what she was doing there in the first place. So what is really happening inside those strange mud nests? And why do entomologists often recommend leaving them exactly where they are? To understand why, we first need to answer a surprisingly simple question. What exactly is a mud dauber? At first glance, she looks like just another wasp. Long legs, a narrow waist, dark wings that shimmer in the sunlight. And for many people, that appearance alone is enough to trigger alarm. After all, when we hear the word wasp, we tend to imagine aggressive swarms, painful stings, and nests that must be avoided at all costs. But this is where the story begins to change, because mud daubers belong to a very different world. Unlike yellow jackets or paper wasps, mud daubers are solitary wasps. She has no colony, no workers, no queen to serve, no army waiting to defend a nest. She builds alone. She hunts alone. She raises her young alone. Let that sink in for a moment. Everything you are about to see is the work of a single insect. Not hundreds, not thousands, just one mother. And perhaps the most surprising part of all is her temperament. Despite looking like a creature that should be feared, mud daubers are remarkably peaceful. Entomologists who study these wasps often describe them as one of the least aggressive wasp species commonly found around human homes. In many cases, you can stand only a few feet away and watch her gather mud, shape her nest, or return from a hunting trip without provoking any reaction. She is not interested in attacking you. She is focused on something else entirely, something that has driven her behavior for millions of years, the survival of her offspring. And that single purpose transforms an ordinary-looking wasp into one of nature's most extraordinary architects and hunters. So if she isn't building those strange mud structures for herself, who are they really for? The answer reveals one of the most remarkable survival strategies in the insect world. Those strange mud structures are not homes. They are nurseries, carefully constructed chambers designed for young that have not even entered the world yet. But before the next generation can survive, the builder must complete a mission that few people ever witness. She must hunt. So what exactly is she searching for? Not flies, not beetles, not mosquitoes, spiders. And this is where the story takes a darker turn. The mud architect that appeared so harmless moments ago suddenly becomes a highly skilled predator. Moving across fences, walls, gardens, sheds, and forgotten corners, the solitary hunter searches with extraordinary patience. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is wasted. Every movement serves a purpose. Then comes the moment that determines everything. A spider is discovered. The attack is immediate. A lightning-fast strike. A precisely targeted sting. And then something unexpected happens. The spider does not die. Think about that for a moment. The venom delivered by this wasp is not designed for execution. It is designed for preservation. The victim becomes paralyzed, trapped in a state between movement and stillness. Alive, but unable to escape. Breathing, but unable to fight back. To us, it seems unsettling. To nature, it is a masterpiece of efficiency. A dead spider would decompose. A living spider remains fresh. And fresh food is exactly what the next generation requires. Long before humans invented refrigeration, this tiny insect had already solved the problem of long-term food storage. The deeper you look, the stranger the story becomes. Because despite possessing such a formidable hunting technique, this creature is remarkably peaceful. This is one of the greatest contradictions surrounding mud daubers. A spider hunter capable of subduing prey larger than herself rarely shows aggression toward people. She does not defend a colony. She does not patrol territory. She does not organize attacks. Her attention is focused elsewhere. Construction, provisioning, survival. Again and again, her life follows the same ancient rhythm. She gathers mud. She shapes chambers. She searches for prey. She prepares the future. Alone. Always alone. Unlike social wasps that depend on thousands of workers, every achievement belongs to a single female. Every nest. Every hunt. Every generation. The responsibility rests entirely on her. And nowhere is that dedication more extraordinary than in her reproductive cycle. After enough spiders have been collected, the chamber slowly transforms into something unexpected. A pantry, a vault, a sealed archive of future survival. One by one, the immobilized spiders are placed inside. Then a single egg is carefully deposited. Only one. One life. One opportunity. Once her work is complete, the entrance is sealed with a final layer of mud. From the outside, everything appears lifeless, silent, forgotten. But hidden beyond those walls, a transformation is already underway. Days later, a tiny larva emerges. It enters a world prepared entirely by a mother it will never know. Food surrounds it. Protection surrounds it. Everything required for survival was arranged long before the egg ever hatched. The larva feeds. It grows. It molts. Eventually, it transforms into a pupa. And then comes the final miracle. A fully developed adult breaks through the hardened wall and enters the outside world for the very first time. No guidance. No family. No community. Only instinct. Yet somehow, the cycle begins again. The more we examine this species, the more impressive its abilities become. For example, these insects possess remarkable navigational skills. After traveling considerable distances to gather building materials, locate prey, and explore potential nesting sites, they consistently return to the exact chamber they constructed. They also demonstrate extraordinary prey recognition. Among countless small animals living around a home, they can identify suitable spiders with astonishing accuracy. And perhaps most impressive of all is their specialized venom. Not a weapon of destruction, a tool of precision, a biochemical solution refined through millions of years of evolution. Few predators in nature rely on such a sophisticated strategy. But why should any of this matter to us? Why should homeowners pay attention to a solitary wasp hidden beneath an eave or tucked away inside a garage? Because while she is raising the next generation, she is also performing an invisible service. A service most people never notice. Spider control. Natural. Continuous. Free. These aerial hunters routinely search places humans rarely inspect. Behind storage shelves. Inside wall crevices. Beneath roofing materials. Deep within sheds and garages. Locations where chemical treatments often struggle to reach. Locations where dangerous spiders frequently establish themselves. No pesticide patrols those spaces as consistently. No trap operates with such precision. No maintenance schedule is required. Every captured spider represents one fewer predator occupying the hidden corners of a property. And in some regions, those victims include black widows and other medically significant species. Which brings us back to where this story began. That rough patch of mud attached to a wall. That object many people view as an eyesore. That structure so often scraped away without a second thought. Perhaps it is not a blemish at all. Perhaps it is evidence. Evidence of a master builder. Evidence of a devoted mother. Evidence of one of nature's most effective pest management specialists quietly working beside us every day, unseen and unrecognized. So now, after discovering the hidden life of the mud dauber, you may be wondering something important. How do you know if these remarkable insects are already living around your home? The answer is often right in front of you. Most people simply never recognize the signs. Look beneath roof overhangs, inside garages, along shed walls, under porches, around window frames, and in the quiet corners of buildings that are protected from heavy rain. These are some of the favorite nesting locations chosen by mud daubers. The first clue is usually the nest itself. Not a paper nest, not a honeycomb, not a swarm hanging from a tree. Instead, look for rough tubes, clustered mud chambers, or strange lumps of dried earth attached to walls and ceilings. At first glance, they may appear to be nothing more than dirt, a stain, an eyesore, something left behind by accident. But now you know better. Those structures are not random. They are carefully engineered nurseries built one pellet of mud at a time. But how can you tell whether a nest is still active, or whether its builder has already moved on? An active nest often shows signs of recent construction. The mud may appear darker, fresher, slightly damp. You may also notice the wasp herself arriving and departing repeatedly throughout the day, carrying mud or returning from hunting trips. Activity means the work is still in progress. A new generation is still developing inside. An abandoned nest tells a different story. The surface usually becomes lighter and more weathered over time. Small circular exit holes may appear where young adults have emerged and entered the outside world. The architect is gone. Her work is complete. The next chapter of the cycle has already begun elsewhere. And perhaps that is the most fascinating realization of all. While many of us move through our daily routines believing our homes are separate from nature, entire stories of survival, engineering, hunting, and parenthood may already be unfolding quietly around us every single day. Hidden beneath a roof, behind a garage wall, inside a small structure made of nothing more than mud. So now I want to ask you something. After learning the true story of the mud dauber, do you still see these insects the same way? Do you think these solitary hunters genuinely affect life around your home more than most people realize? And if one of those strange mud nests were already attached somewhere on your property right now, would you even recognize the signs? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into one of nature's most misunderstood insects, don't forget to subscribe for more cinematic wildlife stories and hidden discoveries from the natural world. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.